All right, we're going to start over. This time I have my microphone on. You can hear me. Got a bunch of axe handles here. I did a previous video about rehandling a cold steel axe. These are WATL competition throwers, or WATL throwers. I forget. Got one with the original handle still in it. A bunch that I've already rehandled, but I need to do them again because they've all broken. So this is how to rehandle a WATL axe. So just like in that cold steel, first thing to do is remove the old one. Bench vise and a saw. So these WATL ones come with these circular wedges. That's my dog ruining my audio. She's over there barking because I'm not paying attention to her. So these WATL ones come with 2 circular rivets in there. I don't like circular rivets. I like the regular wedge. Not rivets. These are wedges. I'm an idiot. I like the regular wedges, not the circular wedges. So I'm going to get these out of there. The circular ones are a bit of a pain to remove. I'm going to take it over to the drill press and drill it out, and then use a hammer and a piece of steel, pound it out. I usually try to drill these out, but it's metal and this drill bit's too wide, so I didn't really try that hard. But that should be good enough. It's already pretty loose. Just smack it out with a hammer. The way handles go into axes, the bottom of the eye is narrower than the top. The top is a little bit wider, and all these wedges expanded out, and that's how they stay in there. So I had it in there upside down. Or I guess it was right side up, but it's upside down for the purpose I need it to be. So if you were being extra careful, you should probably put some leather or something in there to make the jaws not scratch this, but I'm going to be sanding it anyway, so there, that was easy. I'm going to do the rest of those, and I'm going to come back to sand. All right, I'm going to sand all of them. Got angle grinder with an 80 grit disc, flat disc on it. This is mostly just on this one. It's to remove the paint. The paint just looks gross after it gets used a lot. And then the other ones, it's just going to be to give it a quick get rid of the rust. A couple of them were sitting out here for a while. So eye protection, respirator, a face mask, good idea. And, be safe. Don't be stupid. So the 80 grit really does the job. So I'll be back in a minute when they're all shined up a little. I'm also using this opportunity to give them a bit of a, it's hot. Also give it a bit of a sharpen too. I want to take all the burrs off, but then also give it a little bit of an edge. These things don't have to be razor sharp because they're throwing axes. They're supposed to thunk into a bunch of wood. So no reason to put a good knife edge on there, just something that's slightly sharper than a 2x10. Alright, that's all of them shined up. Now we're going to stick the handles in them. Alright, back at the bench vise, I have a pile of handles. These are from Whiskey River Trading. I like these. I like the style that they have. I like how they feel, the curvy handle. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description to their website. They don't sponsor me. I just like their handles. This part's pretty easy. After you take the paint off, it's a little tough to remember which side's the top and which side's the bottom. They have a particular shape, but also all of these have been used, so the top tip is really dull because that's what you want hitting the wood when you throw them. So the bottom tip is still nice and sharp, top tip is nice and blunt. That just happens to be how I can tell. Also, as I mentioned earlier, down here is going to be slightly narrower than up here. So if you go to put this in and it fits pretty nicely, that's right. If you go to put it in up here, it's going to be a little baggy. That's wrong. Make sure you have the handle facing correct. Stick it on as far as you can, and then give it a few whacks. And then it should be seated nicely. You'll have a little bit protruding up here. Where's my wood glue? I'll be back. I need wood glue. I have glue. Because the next step, once it's seated on there, you have a wooden wedge, which is going to go right in there, right in that slice. But I like to throw a little glue so that this is never going to come out. It's going to be under a ton of tension in there anyway, but I like to make sure. And these are almost always, the wedges are almost always bigger than the space they're going into. These X's, they're pretty close, so I don't bother trimming it. I'll just smash it in there and it'll break where it needs to. Oops. It's in there. Then just a couple light taps to get it started. A couple more enthusiastic taps to keep it going. Don't drive it in there too crazy because you could break the handle. So once it doesn't want to move anymore, stop. I'm going to do the rest of these handles. I have a pile. I have 7 axes I'm doing today. I'm going to do the rest of these. Then I'm actually going to move on and do some other project for another video. I'll come back in a little later when these are all dry. Show you the next step. Alright, so it's been an hour or two. Probably not nearly long enough, but I've got stuff to do. So now all of this needs to go away. So I'm going to take a saw and just basically use the axe as a guide and just nip all that off. There you go. nice and smooth. Alright, now I've got flat wedges. These are what I like using. In my cold steel video, is this in frame? In my cold steel video, I put one right in the middle. But this one's a lot wider, a lot bigger in all dimensions. So I'm actually going to put two, kind of like about a third and a third of the way. There it is. That is how I do a WATL axe. Again, link for the handle will be in the description. Come back another time. See me do more stuff.